Breaking Through by Brenda Smith, Chapter 2, Stages of Reading. Stages of reading. There are 3 stages of reading: before reading, during reading, and after reading. Stage 1, previewing the text. Before you read one word, you need to preview the text. You need to know what you're getting yourself into. Signposts for previewing. The first thing you do is read the introductory material. Then learning questions, if there is a recap of what is going to be talked about in that chapter or text. The title, subheadings, italics, boldface, and numbers, visual aids, notations, and absolutely the concluding summary or the review. This will give you a taste of that chapter so you know what you're getting yourself into. Previewing concepts, the power of prior knowledge. Always think about your prior knowledge. We all have a prior knowledge. It's what we know from accumulation of our past. So we all have prior knowledge, but we all have different prior knowledge. Make sure you always think about what you know so you can think about what you need to know and what you want to know. And you can compare those concepts as you read. Also previewing to activate schemata. Schemata is what you know in the past. That's your past knowledge. So think about it so you can bring that to light and you can compare and contrast with what you know and what you're reading. Questions for previewing. Question 1. What is the topic of the material? You need to know this so you know what you're getting yourself into and you can start thinking about what you know about that topic. What do I already know about the subject matter? Bring up that prior knowledge so you can connect the old with the new. What is my purpose for reading? Is it for pleasure? Is it for an exam? Is it for a quiz? That makes a difference on how you will study and for how long you will study. So you need to know that so you can come up with a plan. How is the material organized? Is it in chapters, sections? Will it take you an hour to read, 3 hours to read? Can you do it in the bus? Can you do it at home? Does it need to be quiet? You need to think about the organization so you can organize your time and come up with a plan. And what will be my plan of action or attack for this material? You have to think about where you can do it so you can get it done in an appropriate amount of time and it doesn't drag on and on. So maybe you need to be at home in a quiet place, or maybe you can be out at a cafe and get it done there, but you need to come up with a plan so you can meet that goal. Stage 2, integrating knowledge. Metacognition. Simply stated, metacognition is knowing about knowing or thinking while you're reading. You need to be aware about what you're thinking about when you're reading, because if your mind is drifting, then you are not thinking while you're reading, or you're certainly not thinking about what you should be thinking about. So a good reader always monitors their comprehension and they make sure they're thinking about the material and they're reacting to the material and engaging in the material. So they are comprehending. Stage 2, integrating knowledge. The 5 thinking strategies of a good reader, or to develop metacognition. Number 1, predict. Make educated guesses on what you believe will come next in the story, just like you would in a movie or TV show. Picture and form images. Make sure you're thinking about what the person looks like or sounds like so you can connect with the material more. Relate. Draw comparisons. Think about how you are different or similar to the main characters and draw comparisons between them and your life. Monitor. Check understanding. Make sure you're thinking about the material while you're reading and understanding the material while you're reading. Also, resolve gaps in understanding. If you finish the story and you still have questions to answers, then you need to figure out what those answers are. Go back and fill in the gaps so you are not left with unresolved feelings, thoughts, and questions. Stage 3, recalling. Recalling is the last stage and a very important one because you have to drill that information into your long-term memory. Self-test. Make sure you close your eyes and think to yourself, what did I just read? What do I know? What do I not know? What did I learn? Then you need to summarize what you learned. Hopefully it will match up with the main points of those stories because that's what's going to be on a quiz or an exam. Review relevant details. Anything you've underlined or highlighted, go back and look at it again so you really drive it into your long-term memory. And reflect and react on what you just read. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Why? Are you going to recommend it? What more do you need to know? What did you learn? Or what did you already know that you have now learned all over again? Assess your progress as a learner. There are levels to comprehension. There are literal levels. What did the author say? You know exactly the answer. It is they said X, Y, or Z, so you can answer a literal question. Interpretive. What did the author mean by what was said? What do you read into that the author said? Reading between the lines and thinking about what maybe he did or did not mean when he was speaking. Implied. How does the author's message apply to other situations? How do you relate to the material? And how does the material relate to you and other people around you? Then you can draw comparisons and bring it all together while assessing your comprehension. Summary points. What is reading comprehension? Reading comprehension is when you understand what you have read. That is comprehension. What are the 3 stages of reading? Before, during, and after. What signposts are used for previewing? Well, to preview, you have to look at the title, look at boldface, visual aids, anything that jumps out at you so you have a taste of what you're getting yourself into before you begin to read. What do good readers anticipate? Good readers anticipate what is coming next. They're always thinking, they're predicting, and they're visualizing. Why is prior knowledge powerful? Because you need to know what you already know so you can reflect on new knowledge. What is schema? Schema is your prior knowledge. It's the body of information that you have gathered throughout a lifetime of experience, and we all have it. What are the 5 thinking strategies of good readers? Predict, picture, relate, monitor, and resolve gaps. What is recall? Remember, you have to recall what you've already read so you can really drive that information into your long-term memory. How do good readers reflect? Well, close your eyes and summarize. Think about, what have I read? What did I learn? What do I need to know more before I take that quiz or exam? And how do good readers assess reading progress? There's literal, that means exactly what the author meant to say. Interpretive, that means when you're reading between the lines and you're guessing what the author is trying to say. And implied, where you're taking what the author says and applying it to your life. Visit the companion website for Breaking Through by Brenda Smith. Go to www.ablongman.com/Smith and click on more activities and assignments that match your textbook.